Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Anfield South podcast. It's me, your boy again, it's Slim. And got a few goons with us today, boys. Go ahead, introduce yourselves.
Chris in the building.
Paul's here.
JR's back for part 2.
Back for round 2, JR. Round of applause for JR. He's back, he's back, he's back.
Back.
Everyone else didn't want to come, so JR's here.
Got the call. Last minute call, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying,
I'm back
JR
for round 2.
stepped in, filled the shoes. Doing more than filling the shoes, mate. Yeah, I mean, after your last appearance, man, I think, I mean.
Feedback was alright.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And good things happened after JR's appearance on the podcast, you know what I mean? And regular listeners and followers will know what's happened. You know, if you haven't been listening and following, then you won't know. So you'll have to jump on the Instagram to find out what's happening. Anfield_South1, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get down to it, boys. We've got a few bits to cover. Let's start at the beginning because we've got 3 games to cover. So let's start with the game against Leicester. Score was 1-1, and I think that was our first, well, not our first drop points, but we had a chance to capitalise on Man City's loss to Newcastle, and we took a draw. Someone start me off with the performance in that game.
Performance wasn't bad. I don't think it was our best home performance. I think it's crucial that we not get on the team too much when we have mediocre or subpar for our standards in terms of our performance, because it's a long season. You're never going to be 10 out of 10 in every match. I thought the fans contributed to us being a bit nervous. It's one of the first times I've watched a game and seen genuine nerves in the stadiums, and I think that translated to the players on the pitch. But overall, it wasn't a terrible point. Leicester, one of them sides, man. They're very Jekyll and Hyde. You don't take them seriously on any given day, and they turn you over. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? We've got no right to beat everyone. We got to go out and do it. We were unlucky as well. Should have had a penalty maybe. Naby getting fouled in the box.
Oh, that was a definite penalty.
Yeah, it was definitely, you know what I mean? But I said it wasn't a terrible performance. It just takes on added significance because you want to get ahead of City or put some distance. We're all nervous a little bit.
Yep.
And we want to put some distance between us and City. So I think, but overall, as a performance, in its individual performance, it wasn't bad.
Fair enough. What about yourself? What do you think about that game, Paul?
Obviously, it was a week or 2 ago, isn't it? 10 days ago?
Yeah.
So, like, hindsight now, yeah. One of my mates is Chelsea supporter. Shout out to Chris. Sorry about today, mate. He's big into tactics, and he WhatsApped me during the game, and he was like, "This pitch ain't suiting your style." Do you know what I mean? So it's not an excuse. Well, it's an excuse.
Because the weather was terrible that day, wasn't it? We had was like ice coming down.
So for our pressing style, and to be honest, I actually was coming back from somewhere, so I listened to the first half on the radio. When I got in and put it on, and I saw the pitch, I couldn't believe it. I think I shouted out, "What the fuck is that?" Do you know what I mean? Because the balls span, and I was like, "They can't play on this." Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, oh. But we talked about Ronaldo, Keita. Who else was in midfield that day? It was 4-2-3, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Shaqiri. And that was after our podcast when we were like, oh, Shaqiri. And I was backing him, wasn't I?
Is he a starter? Is he
a
benchman?
As a starter. But he has gone a bit down. And I think that was the beginning of it for me. And I was like, okay, looks like we're going to have to do something different. That's what I took from it. I was like, Klopp's going to have to think of something different to do.
Well, as we're talking about the lineup, that game, JR, Mr. I'm not having Camacho. We were missing the right back in that game. Obviously, Trent was injured. Milner was he suspended for that game, or was he?
He was.
That's the one he was suspended.
Yeah, he was suspended. So the lineup came out, and we all thought Gini Wijnaldum would play it right back, but it turned out to be Jordan Henderson. Yeah. Being a defender yourself, how would you rate Jordan's performance back there?
I thought he was steady. He wasn't really outstanding going forward, going back. He was just steady, I think. A makeshift, no more than one game.
Yeah.
Just filling in for Milner. I think he done the job. There were certain areas where he was like, you can tell he's not a right back. Certain moves he was going, certain directions you could tell, obviously he's not a right back. So if Fielding done the job, I'd say satisfactory. One game only, I wouldn't have him anywhere near that spot anywhere else. And I think, looking back at it, overall as the game for Leicester, I think we were lucky to get away with a draw there. Looking back at it, we talked, like you mentioned earlier about, we should have had a penalty, blatant blatant penalty foul. It was, but Leicester broke away so many times. Demarai Gray went through. If he squared it across, I'm not sure who it was coming across.
Yeah, it was a goal.
He's 1-on-1. It's going to be a goal.
It was Morrison, I think.
Can't remember who it was exactly, but if he
someone was
squares
coming
that,
across. He shot. There was a free kick. Guys, I don't know what's happening with our free kicks lately. The defenders are not going back with the set pieces. It's like they're just standing there.
This is what I was thinking about the when you play a Milner or a Henderson. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but they probably used to be in a fifth or sixth or seventh man in that wall. But the guys in the back four will sort people out. Yeah. But then obviously we haven't had a trend back for a few weeks, have we?
So I think that whoever's on the last, so for example, if it's on the right side and it's coming in, whipping in, like more, who's is it Morrison?
Oh,
for Leicester.
Yeah, the kid
Madison. Madison.
Yeah.
He's got a good delivery on him. So I think our weakness is always at the back post. The last man on the back post doesn't. I think we're getting found out on that last one. So when there was a free kick that came across and we got caught and Maguire headed it back across. Yeah. And that's when Firmino, luckily enough, came back and
he hit it, and then Alisson saved it. Yeah.
If he misses that, if he doesn't go back with that, we've lost. Yeah. And then I looked, I stopped it, I paused it, and I was looking where's the centre backs. I think Matip just stopped. If you look at it again, Matip doesn't even go back. He's just daydreaming.
But I think that's probably down to the fact that the Matip Van Dijk partnership isn't as refined as the Gomez and Van Dijk partnership was. So well, maybe so. I'll get your take on it in a second, but obviously the understanding that Gomez and Van Dijk have, obviously we're seeing how key that is to how the defensive line drops. And I think your thing with free kicks is if you look at the way we defend free kicks, we keep quite a high line. And I think we wait till literally the last minute to drop back to try and catch everybody offside. So, and I think that in that game we got found out a few times with that, and it
was working, wasn't it, at the beginning of the season?
It was working, but obviously teams do their homework, and I think even against West Ham, which we'll cover soon, we got found out with that as well.
Yeah, and I think Leicester worked on that. So if you see when Chilwell for their goal, when it came in and the second phase, Chilwell, I think they worked out if you get the ball, the second phase, hit it in first time. Yeah, that's that ball. Even when I used to play, that ball, second phase from a set piece coming in, the back post ball, the defenders ain't set for it. Yeah. And I think they definitely worked on it, because when you saw Chilwell pass it to Maguire and scored, it was like a team thing. They all like, yes, we've worked on it, we've done them kind of thing. Yeah. So I think the set pieces for the Leicester game, we were lucky, man. We were lucky overall, I think. So point gained.
That's exactly what I was about to say. So would you take that as a point gained rather than 2 points lost?
Yes. Now, at the time, I ain't gonna lie, it felt like a loss at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
But in hindsight,
you want to win every game, innit? So if you don't win it,
I think it's because, like I said, because I think City had lost today to Newcastle, and I was thinking it's a chance to go.
Well, we'd have gone 7 points clear.
We got excited, didn't we?
We got excited, and that's why it felt like a loss. But in hindsight, it's a good point. I mean, back to the set pieces thing. So as I mentioned,
sure.
For me, with I think Matip has a tendency, although he's played well, he has a tendency to daydream at times, and I think that's something about him, sort of way he switches off. And for such a tall guy, the ball floats overhead a few times. You've noticed that it does. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's not a small guy, so it shouldn't be happening really. But that's probably the reason why he's.
Matip's not a big talker. I don't think he's not much of a leader.
He does quite a lot. This.
Yeah, and his face.
All the time.
Why are you on the floor? I only stabbed to your face.
Do anything wrong?
With his hands out, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I hate that.
Like the West Ham game, he did it. Yesterday, he did it for the Bournemouth game.
He done it all last season.
Yeah, just the two hands out like he did nothing wrong.
And then when you see the replay, he blatantly done so.
What game was it? You put it in the group, JR. I think it was you that put it in the group. There was a game and you paused and took a picture of it, and the ball. Just coming in and he was running back.
Leicester game.
Yeah, he was way out of position.
Yeah,
I was
that's what I was talking about earlier. He's just like you said, he's daydreaming.
He switches off.
Crazy.
And he's an experienced defender.
And he doesn't take responsibility. That's why he's having a little moan.
He doesn't.
When things go against him, like when he found someone.
So question, Paul.
Yo,
Matip or Lovren?
Do you know what? This is a bit of a cop out, but it's got to be. You say game by game. I think Klopp needs to watch him minute by minute. He needs to follow them to the fucking toilet and see if they miss the toilet or whatever.
You should have rolling substitutes.
They're numpties. They're a pair of numpties.
But the thing about it is, moving forward just a little bit, we've got to play them for Bayern Munich. Because Van Dijk's
Oh
suspended.
yeah, Van Dijk suspended.
What
That
are you
is-
trying to do to me?
Sorry, let's get back to
Honestly,
it.
I'm not the biggest Lovren fan, but I take Lovren over Matip.
Yeah, I think I
Because
second that.
Lovren is a decent defender when he doesn't have to
Yeah.
think about things too much. He tends to make mistakes when he's got time for some reason.
You know what? You just made me. I want Matip because I'm just thinking, last game of the season, going for the league. Who's gonna do the biggest howler of all time? That's gonna go down in history.
Lovren.
Probably Lovren.
Probably after
Do you know
his
what I
big
mean?
bold
Yeah, but-
statements
Or when
about.
we're like, all we need is a win. Like, pass out, it's like last minute, and it will shoot from 50 yards.
Yeah, something
Oh,
crazy.
mate,
Yeah,
he does.
I could see Lovren doing that. I could see Lovren doing that. But you know what?
Me already, leave me alone. I don't need them scenarios in my head.
To answer JR's question
in the
though,
work.
if I had to pick between the two, like I'd probably go Lovren if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So would I.
Matip's in great form at the moment for his levels,
yeah.
but
Spot on.
if I'm honest, both of them top of their game. I'm taking
You know
Lovren.
what? I'm going to stick to what I just said. It was like, I'm going to go game by game.
I'm with
So
you.
I'm going to go.
No,
Matip.
yeah, I'm just-
For now, I'll go Matip.
No, 'cause I agree.
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
week
Overall.
I said Matip, but
Yeah.
now I don't
I know what. I
Yeah.
think we all agree. Lovren is probably, if he plays at his best, a better defender. We're stronger. He's a longer partnership with Van Dijk, but they're just
Matip passes the
they're
ball better.
both plums, man.
Yeah,
Like,
Matip, and he brings it out of defence.
He's more comfortable on the ball than Lovren.
that's
Definitely,
it.
he's a bit more cultured.
Yeah.
But there was, was it what game was it? Even in I can't remember. If it was either I think it was the Leicester game. He came out with the ball and he just like got into no man's land, and then he lost the ball. And it's like, oh, really, if you're
We
gonna
could
do
talk about
that,
that at the West
if
Ham
you're gonna
and
do that,
other game.
then at least have something at the end of it. Do you know what I mean? I'd actually rather you take that 50-yard shot because at least you've got time to get back now, rather than you get tackled right there.
Yeah.
And then we're on the back
He brought
foot.
the ball out and he didn't have a picture of what he's doing.
Yeah.
and then he just went blank.
It's like he was winging it. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what's strange about him? Like in a 10-minute spell, he can come forward with the ball over the halfway line and fizz it into someone's feet. Well, 1-2, and then the next time he'll fizz it, and it's like 6 yards wide of the pass he was going. And you're like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's probably they making it.
The hands. Anyway, it's
There's one
catchy.
other thing during the Leicester game I had to bring up. Alisson has been spectacular this season. However, in that game, I wanted to slap him because
Elaborate.
there was more than one occasion where you could see the conditions. It's slippery, slush everywhere.
He set Henderson up, innit?
Kick the ball away. He's trying to be cute. There's time to be cute, and he seems to always want to do it against Leicester. I don't know what the thing is
Yeah.
about Leicester, and it happened about 3 times in that Leicester game where we could have got.
But
caught
is it
out.
just his makeup? Is that just how
Yeah.
he plays? I
I
don't think
get
that's
that.
him.
I get
Yeah.
that, but he's also, you can tell he's an intelligent guy. Kick the ball away. You don't always kick it away. You can see the conditions. I bet not do that today. That's all I'm saying.
fair enough. Fair
Especially when it
enough.
doesn't go well the first time.
And he set up Henderson. He passed it out first half, and he passed out Henderson. Henderson wasn't set, and then we nearly got caught.
Yeah.
It was a foul. Henderson did foul Maddison. Got away with it, and then Vardy closed him down. He went to clear it again, and someone missed a sitter in front of the goal. After that,
No, what? Yeah, at the back post with the header, with the head, was it
Madison,
Madison? Yeah.
so
shocking header.
just clear it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Play the conditions.
Yeah,
just
fair
play.
enough.
It's his personality. He's a very
Fair enough.
relaxed guy. You know, he's like walking like people going to like. You know, he's got a guitar on his back everywhere he goes. Do you know what I mean? He's going to train with a guitar on his back. He's a chilled out dude. But yeah, like Chris says, you got to take the time, read the situations, and read your teammates' mood. Like you've got your mate here. You know he's a centre midfielder. Why are you putting him under pressure?
Okay,
Under
actually,
pressure.
I would have set you up today, bro. There you go.
Okay, so obviously we drew that game. So moving on from that game, we had West Ham away at the great old London Stadium. Woohoo! Score was 1-1. Paul, take me. We actually, I think we went to a 4-3-3 on that game. So
It was weird. Was it a 4-3-3? Was Lallana was there, wasn't it? I don't know if that's like maybe if it was 2 number 8s and Fabinho, or it was. Yeah, I think it was 2. Yeah, and Fabinho.
You think?
Yeah, and it was very lightweight. Do you know what I mean? And I remember we were WhatsApping, and I think I caught your eye by my message. I went, "Oh, we look nippy," and you're like, "No, we're passing too slow." I meant physically. I thought we looked like we had the beating for them with pace and stuff. But as soon as you spoke,
What you
do know
said,
what I mean?
I jinxed it, yeah.
But no, you saw the game like Bill Shankly. I'm like fucking Roy Hodgson out here. And
Boy.
yeah, before I knew it, I was like, oh no, yeah, we are slow to the ball. We are passing it too slow, and we looked a bit lightweight, and we looked tired. Do you know what I mean? We didn't talk about Dubai. Was it Dubai? We went
yeah,
to?
the players went away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
didn't they?
I wasn't.
Well, a couple of days.
That's
yeah.
hindsight again. I don't think it worked, obviously, because obviously we didn't. Leicester, I thought we looked a bit sluggish.
Yep.
and it was cold, and
we're off again to Spain.
And I think also in the last couple of games we looked nervous. So I was thinking, like, if you think about when you got a World Cup team or European Championship team and they go away for 4 weeks, and what they all say, I'm bored, we're bored, we're just sitting here thinking. So what are they going to be thinking about for like 4 or 5 days in Dubai? What's the point? Yeah,
because when I was in Dubai, like I saw certain things on social media. Mane was out with some kids doing some, I don't know what it was, but I was just like, you lot are chilling out here, man. You're not on job. Like, you're out here chilling. You know what I'm saying? And it reflected in the Leicester game. They were playing how they thought they were still in Dubai.
If anything, let them stay with their families, man. They got kids and what's the point of moving them out?
You say we look nervous, and I'm inclined to agree with you. But then when Mane scores that first goal, I don't know about anybody else, but I relaxed. So what happened, boys? What happened after we scored that first goal? Why didn't we kick on?
Didn't get the second.
Was it even against the run of play? It was a nothing game.
Well, it was an offside goal, to be fair.
Goal.
So our next season VAR, we're not going to get that, but we managed to get the goal. But like I said, we didn't kick on, and obviously, we didn't get a second goal. But I'm trying to figure out why did we not?
I think we looked weak. I think it will. Sorry, last bit.
Sorry,
we're away from home. It was raining. It was Monday night. West Ham were up for it. Stadium, when that stadium is rocking, it's a decent stadium. Like Mo Farah one in there. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper. No, it's a no, but I mean, like, it's an auditorium. It's got acoustics. You know what I mean? So I could.
No, you laugh. Do you know what? Sorry to cut. You laugh at Paul, but do you know what? Stadiums nowadays are designed so that.
This is the Mo Farah left field. I'm like, where did Mo Farah come from?
The stadiums are designed for the acoustics to echo around. So I hear your point. Fair enough.
Anyway,
carry on.
So we just looked a bit weak. Do you know what I mean? Everyone looked a bit slow. There was no leaders on the pitch that day. Van Dijk looked quiet to me. He looked a bit like.
He looked still ill, man. To me.
Yeah, he looked a bit, even mager for a second. And I just think we weren't at the races. I think West Ham deserved to probably get more points again.
I think our squad looked, for the first time this season, looked like we're missing, I think, about 5 players. And I think it was difficult for the new guys to come in and just run the show. I think like what we had on Saturday with the mix of newer players and established leaders in the team, I mean, that's the best blend we have. And I think in that game, Lallana, you're playing with 10 men anyway, or 9 men.
But to be fair to Lallana, he started really well, didn't he?
He did, but it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, no,
it's 90 minutes.
Point fully taken.
You got to play, man, and he's one of these people that fleet in and out of games. So I'm not a fan of his. Yeah,
and in a title challenging season, you can't afford for a man to come in and out of a game.
I mean, you can't, and we can get outplayed. I mean, but I really do think it was because we were light in central midfield. We had no control over the midfield. Nobody seemed to want to take responsibility and lead.
Well, Naby didn't have a great game that day, did he?
We should talk about Naby, actually.
No.
Well, key moments.
Second half, I think he was decent, but the first
performances.
I think obviously we're talking on Sunday, and he was good yesterday. I think his resurgence or mini resurgence started in the second half against West Ham. Actually, do you know what I mean? He still hides. All right, I'm accepting that. I'm a big fan, but I said before, he hides, and he hides in a way that I can see it, and I'm like. Calling my wife, she's like, "Leave me alone!" Like, he. There was a point where one of the West Ham had a break, right? And we're chasing after him. It was like Milner and Keita, so their side, like chasing after him. I think Matip won the ball back. When Matip won the ball back and turned, this is in the second half. Keita literally stopped, so he couldn't be given the ball.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah. Because if that was me, I'd be like, "Put it there, and I'm fucking taking it," and we're moving up the field.
Yeah.
He was hiding, and the perverse thing about it is that. When he actually gets the ball, he usually does something at least decent with it. At least it shows a good touch. He'll pass it forward. So what's your problem, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got the talent, use it. So the second half, do you remember that step over he done when he ran forward?
Yeah,
that was an audible gasp, and we were away. That's acoustic. We were away. I heard ooh, because he went bang and went that way.
Yeah.
He proper, and then he left again, and then it was only because he passed it infield trying to get Salah because everyone wants Salah. Instead of going out to Robertson, and we could have had another proper chance. Yeah. That scoop pass to Origi was sick. Do you know what I mean? But that's only when you got the ball, son. Do you know what I mean? Demand it. Demand the fucking ball. He could have done something. I was disappointed with him. I told you that as well.
I think Klopp's actually mentioned that though. Well, actually, the way Klopp, I think it was at the Burnley game, Klopp said that the players should find him more. So I don't know if he's mentioned anything to Keita and said don't stop hiding. But I know he's mentioned that the players should find him more. But because maybe if there was a Henderson there, Henderson might be telling him or have a word in his ear. Do you know what I mean? To encourage him to demand the ball or get on the ball because he's got the talent to do it. But
do you remember when we were like saying before that Henderson's like barking is for nothing? He was needed that day. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes like, you're barking, we're 10-0 up. Yeah, probably right. Or you're barking, but you're not doing nothing yourself. But that's his job.
That game, I think we definitely needed a Milner and Henderson at midfield. You know, like play for game. In Europe, like when they're midfield, it's not really a thing. But I think certain games like West Ham away, certain grounds like that, Henderson, Milner, just in there helping out the likes of Keita.
Keita.
Yeah. One of the three. Helping them out and carrying them through the game because he ain't been there before. So like you might say he's the captain of his country and they should be used to it. But some he's probably been in the stadium and he's like raw, like this atmosphere. He's unsettled, you know.
Yeah.
So them guys, Milner, Henderson, we definitely missed them in the game like that to help the new guys through. And I think for me in that game, going back to the defensive side again because I'm always on the defensive side.
Say the name.
I thought they was just running through our midfield too easy. And we didn't engage them until they got into our last third just outside the box. Like Anderson was just running through.
Yeah.
He ran from like their third through the halfway line into our third. And then they want to engage. It's like they're running beside him, but they don't want to tackle. And I thought the midfield was proper like tracing paper in that game. Just run through us, man.
Defensively, and then obviously
if we're at home, it maybe could have worked.
Yeah,
but I think we're missing a lot of pace because of absence of Trent and Gomez. We're not usually that exposed when we got those two because there's usually one of them slitting slightly deeper than the other who's got a bit of pace to, you know what I mean, at least hold up attacking players and so the other players can get back and stuff like that.
But latching onto the defensive bit, obviously that's how we conceded a goal again, another set piece and a simple set piece.
Terrible.
So like,
Keita was.
I think they wasn't streetwise.
I was just about to say, who switched off for that?
Keita.
I thought Keita.
Do you know what, JR? Let's
There's
stick
so
to
many
Naby.
Keiters. Like I keep thinking of the Barcelona one.
Just let's stick to Naby.
Naby,
You can't go wrong.
Naby.
Or as you like to call him in the group, Mr. Yam, innit? Just call him Mr. Yam.
Don't start.
I think it was a combination of Keita and Robertson. I thought Robertson could have. He played his
saw
part
it,
in
though.
that. Yeah, he saw it and he was like,
Pass the buck.
But it was one of many. One were going to go in, weren't they?
Yeah.
We didn't. Nathaniel Klein.
Nah, I'm not.
You know what?
Don't want to talk about it.
No.
Do you know what? I said personally, no one should leave in the January transfer
I was with
window.
that.
We let Klein go, and I thought that was a big mistake because I felt that we're going to need the whole squad at some point now. Others feel differently. Now, just quickly, my opinion on Klein is, he's not ability. He's dropped off a bit, since he came when he came to Liverpool. He's not the player that we first bought, but he's going to do a better job for me than anyone we're going to fill in that space. And I just felt having him in the ranks is in a title challenging season. You need that.
100%.
Whether you like him or not, you need that.
100%.
Milner
And I
would have been in
think
midfield.
the fact we let him go meant we had to have Milner at right back, Henderson the game before, and like you said, then we were lacking things in midfield. So I think that was a silly move from Klopp to let him go.
Right back.
Of course he is.
He's a solid right. He's not spectacular, but he will do a job. I can't see too many games where him getting ripped apart. He's solid. He's not great going forward. He's a bit of indecision in his game when he's going forward, but defensively, he's at least a 6.5.
And what a shame we didn't even get to. He's not playing in 2018-19 Liverpool. He only knows the season before. He'd in this team, he'd be a better player, and we needed him. Like, for me, it's one of the most bizarre decisions I've seen in a long time. When you're chasing the title, you get rid of a right back when you've got two right backs out.
I think they might have thought that Trent or Gomez might be coming back a bit earlier than that.
What if they get injured again?
Yeah.
Arrogance, mate.
Yeah.
Because look, Chris said a good thing. Like, well, the thing about the yin and yang, or the gift and curse of Klopp. Klopp's a nice guy. Klopp makes me smile when I see him on TV. He makes Gary Lineker fucking smile. You know what I mean? Like, everyone, you can see
Everyone
managers
loves
going
Klopp,
like that.
yeah.
Like, real famous people. Like, and the reason why he's good for man management is because he's a nice guy, and he's loyal, and they trust him, and they run through bricks from him. So Chris was like, I reckon he probably said, Klein, you can go. You've told me you want to go. You could go. This is the time he shouldn't have been nice.
Klopp said that. He said that Klein, it was a quick thing. Klein said he wants to play. He said, I think Bournemouth are in for you. He said, yeah, cool, you can go. It was literally like that.
Wow.
Exactly that.
This
See?
is the time when he should have said 9. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You're on the contract.
Fair enough. Anyway.
No, you can say we need you. We need you.
Well, exactly. And look what happened. He would still be playing. He would have played about 5 games by now.
Chugging on nicely. Let's move it on nicely. Let's move. Wait, just quickly before I move it on, another West Ham game. Points dropped, point gained.
Gained again, probably.
Yeah.
They had so many chances. Rice, header.
Yeah.
Noble missed a sitter,
Yeah.
literally sitter. And there was a few blocks, like last guard blocks. For me, point gain.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, obviously, in the beginning of it, at the start of the month, we've put ourselves in a sleep position by letting Klein go. I think that's worse than the holiday. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, let's
Sorry.
not go back on it. Come on, Paul,
Getting
man.
pissed off,
Jesus
mate.
Christ, mate. I know it upset you.
Paul was bigging up the holiday in the last podcast.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, they could go out there,
Yeah.
recover their
I remember,
injury.
yeah, it's true. I was like, what did I say? The sun will be waiting.
Jesus.
You said a lot in that last podcast, bro. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Never again.
Anyway.
Never again.
So, boys, moving on then. Obviously, after that game, City had played Everton before. I think during that game, the gap's gone to 3 points, and then City have played, and we're now finding we're behind City on goal difference. City's goal difference is just shooting up. It's another thing we should discuss. But anyway, so we come into the Bournemouth game. We're in second place. 2 below par performances. So obviously everyone's looking for a result. It's gone around amongst fans and from Klopp himself for the fans to be a bit more patient and a lot more vocal in the stadium and support the boys. And I think the Bournemouth game at the weekend, you heard that, and then I think that reflected in the result. We won 3-0. But what I want you to talk about, JR, is the lineup, because I'm not sure, I don't think it was a 4-3-3 and I don't think it was a 4-2-3-1. So, no, yeah, 4-2-3-1. So would you tell me what's happening with that lineup?
The three in midfield, I thought, gave us a lot more energy. It was Keith, Naby, Winnie, and Fabinho. And I think that them three, definitely the balance. I think one of you guys put a picture in the group of, was it you, Paul?
Yeah.
Like the triangle.
It was a 4-3-3 attacking.
Yeah, 4-3-3. So I thought the balance with those guys in midfield was good. Obviously, the top three speaks for itself.
Would you say the lineup, the shape of the team was a more of a 4-1-2-3?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what
That's
you're
what I
saying.
thought it was.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But I think the if you say the 4-1-2-3, I think Naby and Fabinho, they were rotating the deepest man. I think Wijnaldum was the runner.
Yeah,
was
he had the license.
Adding the legs going forward. And also, Wijnaldum, I think, was more on the right side. And he fills in, like you were saying about the Crystal Palace game, on that when Zaha was ripping Milner, there was no, you were saying Winnie wasn't over there covering. And the first half, when it went to the I think Fraser a few times, Wijnaldum was straight over there giving him that backup. So Fraser then had to come back out and start again. So definitely the legs in there, the fourth, I think, yeah, Wijnaldum was more the higher one, and Nabs and Fabinho were rotating. Yeah.
Would you say, Paul, that was the best midfield performance you'd seen so far this season?
One of them. I think Wijnaldum and Fabinho as a 2 have been brilliant this season a lot of the time. I liked Fabinho and Henderson away at Wolves. We won 2-0 in the league. I still think it was this is my rubbish tactic. It was 4-3-3 attacking. I got it off FIFA. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I like the balance of it.
Yeah.
And this is probably more props to Wijnaldum and more of another kick up the arse for Keita. I think they both had license. They're playing Bournemouth. I think it was a balanced, like I said, 2 8s and a 6.
Yeah.
And Wijnaldum just took more liberties of going. Keita had the opportunity to if he wanted to, and I think he's still reserved. Do you know what I mean? I think he's still a reserved guy. He got in the end and didn't, with that chance at the second half near the end.
The conversion.
Yeah, when he went over the
He should have done. He should have done a lot better with that chance.
But I was happy because I put on WhatsApp because shout out to Leo. Leo's Ronaldo's biggest fan. And he was saying he was the man of the match, and he might have been actually, him or Salah. But I was happy that Danny Murphy on BBC One Match a Day. He talks about Fabinho, and I said that before. I said for me, he's our most important midfielder. And when they highlighted it,
let me just stop you there before you go on to Fabinho, because you mentioned Naby had the license to get forward. Chris, was that game the resurgence or maybe the birth of Naby Keita in that game? Because that pass for that goal,
that was beautiful. I have to agree with Paul. I think it started in the second half against West Ham. I thought he was markedly improved from other games in the second half against West Ham, and I thought he was excellent by one or two moments against Bournemouth. His talent is obvious. It's very, very obvious. It's just a matter of him stepping into that arena and manning up. He probably does need people around him, experience, not necessarily to shout at him, but to say, look, this is Liverpool. This is how we play. We play with a certain level of fire in our belly, and this is what you have to adopt, and this is what you have to do. If he's on his game, he's easily our most talented midfielder. You can see it. But I would say it's his best. Actually, it's probably tied for his best game with the Burnley away. I thought he was outstanding in that game.
What about the West Ham at home, the first game for Naby?
He was decent as well.
He was good in that one, but for me, the Burnley game is the one where he was driving past people, shooting that rocket with his weaker foot.
It's a good save, by the way.
Yeah. Superb save, do you know what I mean? And this game, because at times he was keeping it ticking over. And what I like about him, he has a habit of doing, one of our few midfielders that had this one-touch pass. So receive it, and without taking a touch, it will just be bang onto the next, or change the angle or something like that, which not all of our midfielders do. And I think with the type of movement we got up front, I think it's important that we were able to play quick one-touch football, and I think he can do that.
There was a clip they showed of Fabinho passing the ball forward, but before it came to him, it was Naby. He chested it, and then the side foot pass. Yeah. Oh my God! Do you know what I mean? And then we were smooth that day. We talked about actually no, go back. Keita firing his belly. What you just said. He still needs to give me more.
He ain't hit a challenge yet. Have you seen him really hit a challenge?
He was involved in all the goals actually, because the first goal and Adam's goal, he got the little toe in for Mane to give to Robertson. But I'm talking, there was a bit in the second half when Bournemouth, they may have had a header and it was whipped in from the right back or right winger, and Keita was kind of there, and he kind of went, and I was like, come on, man. And that goal, the chance he had as well, I think he feared it when the centre back came in.
Yeah, when he saw it, he didn't want it, did he?
When he was in Germany, he was breaking his own teammates' legs in training. Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
So come on.
Might that not be a reason why he's calmed down, because
of that incident?
Yeah. Plus, you have to remember, in Germany, it's a little softer. You're not allowed to get away as much. Maybe he hasn't realised how much he can get away with in the Premiership.
Maybe
that will come, I think.
I just think at the moment he's been a bit of a pussy. Do you know what I mean? And he's got the ability. When he took out the sky
for the goal,
for the first one,
I thought that was Mane, And then
you do get confused when they're both
about
on the
same
pitch.
height.
Yeah.
The only difference you can tell is the boots they're wearing.
Yeah.
But the touch was deaded it.
Dead.
Passed it.
Yeah.
It was two touch. It was two touch. Most people control that. It's going off for throwing and stuff like that. He controlled it, dead, passed it, whipping, goal. Lovely.
Yeah.
So while we're on the midfield, and I did slightly ask it already, but does having Naby, Fab, and Winnie make our best midfield?
Probably. I mean, Ronaldo, we can't argue with at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Shout out to Wijnaldum for his goal.
Shout out to Wijnaldum, fantastic goal.
And the thing I liked about that goal, everything was done so quick. The free man pressed the ball, got it back. Robertson looked up into Wijnaldum. Yeah. The first touch, you know how hard that first touch is? He kind of got it and took the spin off it. Yeah. And then composed himself for this little flick over. Beautiful goal.
Sorry. I'm going to go back to the midfield in a minute, but I think Saturday's game against Bournemouth was the first time in a while I think our speed of play was quick.
It was so quick.
We usually start so sluggish, and I think that was key to winning that game as well. But go on with the midfield. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to move on to the positioning of Salah as well and stuff like that.
All right, hold that thought then. But midfield, just with the mid, is that our best midfield?
Yeah, I'll reserve judgment again. I like Klopp at the moment. I think apart from a couple of games, our rotation has been good. So I'm not going to just say, okay, that's it, let's go, because it could be another game where we need Henderson. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Or home game or away game. The away game against United, I wouldn't start Keita. I'd start Henderson. Do you know what I mean?
Fair
I would
enough.
start Henderson, and
Horses.
but bring Cato on after 55 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Admit defeat, or use the squad.
Can I just propose a counter argument for playing Keita? I think at this point in time, we need to default to our strength. I say we do 4-3-3 and we try and take everybody's heads off. I really want to see that.
You can still play 4-3-3 with Henderson.
I know, but I'm talking about a dynamic 4-3-3. I'm not talking about. It's gonna be. The midfield's a little bit more static when Henderson's
Sideways,
there.
isn't it?
I would really, because the thing about the City game which annoyed me was that we didn't go for it from the start. If we'd have gone for their necks, I'm still convinced we would have won that game. And I'd hate to see the same thing happen. United are having a good run, but I mean, the second half against Tottenham, they got roasted and should have lost by about 6 goals. Go for their necks. Don't show them no respect. We don't care if it's your patch. We want to be champions. We are potential champions.
I'm not saying.
No, I'm just saying this is the mentality I want them to approach the game with.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's necessarily right. I would just like to see us go up there, no respect, take your head off on your.
And so,
own
in
ground.
order to do that, you don't think Naby should feature in a midfield in order to achieve that?
No, I'm saying he should feature.
I want him to
I
feature,
want him to.
yeah.
I don't want Henderson. I don't want us to go up there and go feel it out for 15. No, as soon as
go
we step
for
on
it.
the
No.
pitch, take
Okay.
off their heads.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's the coach then. So I if the coach can go and say Naby, come on, get stuck in. United are gonna get stuck in. Like they look a different team. I'm not in awe of them anything, right? But they've always been physical anyway. Now they're they're physical with a bit of pace
And confidence.
and confidence. You know what I mean? I don't want Naby in there at the moment. I don't think he's gonna be able to go shoulder to shoulder or wrist to wrist with like people like Pogba and Matip at the moment. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be sly. Herrera's gonna be up to tricks. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather even play Henderson as an 8 and say, Henderson, you're just gonna go charging into people. Do you know what I mean? High press.
Do you know what the beautiful thing is about that game? Yeah, is that afterwards we're doing a podcast, so we're gonna find out which of you two's is right after that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, as JR wanted to talk about Salah and his positioning.
Yeah, the last 2 games, Salah's been playing as the front man.
Yeah.
So I saw a stat. You can't always believe stats and that, but like his touches when he's playing up front. You got to remember when he's playing up front, he's playing against bigger defenders.
Yeah.
So rolling them like he can when he plays wider. He's not he can't do it. So his touches and his effectiveness when it's back against the goal, the goal. I think he's not as effective. But yesterday, Bournemouth game, he had about 20, 30 more touches and created a lot more chances from playing out wide. And he just looked more settled in that position. Yesterday,
I like him.
The link-up
Yeah.
play between him and Firmino yesterday was absolutely amazing. I mean, I criticised Firmino. I think it might have been in the West Ham game. He saw a lot of flicks he was trying to do, and I was like, these flicks aren't coming off, wasteful. But I think as soon as he finds that player that's on his wavelength, those flicks, they just work. They just work for him. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people been on here, a lot of us have been on here and said Salah from the right is a lot more effective than in that lone striker role. And I think it is something that I personally want to see moving forward.
I haven't minded it too much because it's been a necessity, hasn't it? Because for whatever reason, maybe because Keita wasn't ready, the 4-3-3 wasn't working for us. It looked a bit like predictable, boring, not very creative. So the 4-2-3-1 got Shaqiri in the team, didn't it? Yeah. And they got Firmino deeper. Do you know what I mean? And Salah scored a lot. Salah actually got played back into form playing up front. Now, if he's ready to go back to his right way, he did score 44 goals. That's perfect. But just I'm gonna, before we end the Bournemouth and that's like segment, we have to watch out. Well, actually, no, I'm still confident. But that Bournemouth game, that was perfect management by Klopp. He talked about the crowds. I think the players were admitting that we've had 2 bad results in 1-2 points. So it was kind of like a perfect game. Let's see what happens now against Bayern Munich. Let's see if we've actually returned to form. Do you know what I mean? Because it seemed like a perfect day, on Saturday.
Well, we were talking. I asked about the midfield and stuff, and is this our best midfield? Obviously, we had Steven Gerrard in our midfield, who's was absolutely amazing for us. Do we miss that player that can just lash a shot from outside the box?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Ox, isn't it?
Yeah. I think Ox is the only one.
Who's capable?
Yeah, definitely.
Naby.
Coutinho was the last one we kind of had that good
Yeah.
outside the box. Someone's going to let off a shot. So it affects a lot of things. So if you know like you've got a midfielder that's gonna let shots go, it affects it. It will free up
the opposition team, because they know they got to come out to close it, as opposed to sit back and we know they're not going to shoot from there. So just close the lines and we're good.
Well, that's one of the frustrating things about Winnie, because I think he often finds himself in those positions with just that, and he won't let go. Even in the game against Bournemouth, there was a situation where he tried to pass to Salah, and it was slightly behind him. Yeah. I'd love to see him drive at the goal and hammer it more.
Well, he was inside the box there, but I think that when that ball first goes into his path, Steven Gerrard or Coutinho shifts it and shoots.
Yeah. That was like the Henry position, isn't it? Far corner, bend it round.
He do that, and he's hesitant. That's why he's finished for the goal. Surprised, I was happy, but surprised the hell out of me, because usually he's a bit indecisive.
Wait, he had a shot against Bournemouth, didn't he? Left foot as well.
Yeah, straight.
He shifted it to his left of the shot against Leicester. Against Bournemouth. Against Leicester, 10 minutes ago, ball came onto his right foot, so he's pushed it into space. If he takes another touch, he's in shooting distance, and he just slowed down. And I was so angry. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because he can shoot. Yeah. He's got technique. He's got ability. Like you're right. Like we've got actually players who don't even know if they can shoot yet because they don't shoot.
Do you think they're told to shoot though? Or they're told when you get there, find a pass?
Nah. I mean, they'll have patterns of play where they're probably going to lay it out wide, but Klopp doesn't care. He wants to
shouldn't have to tell a player that.
But it's like they don't. It's like we played the game. Like if you're in a certain area, man, like just shoot, just shoot. It's like they're not. I don't know.
Just watch Salah.
Yeah, they don't shoot from outside. How many goals did we score from outside the box? Really?
Not many.
I don't know.
Not many.
Milner scored
I
one.
couldn't. The fact that I can't remember means there hasn't been enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe I should remember because there hasn't been that many.
But
I don't.
Sometimes, isn't it? Like he tries to get into.
He's capable. Mane's got a good shot. But I think
has been brilliant the last few days.
Brilliant.
Shouts out to Mane. He has he's he's had like 4, 5, and 6 or something like that.
The last 4.
So Mane's been excellent, man. But
I think Salah could pass a little bit more than he does.
And just while you're mentioning Salah, I do think we need to lay off looking for Salah too much. I mean, obviously, there's goals all around the team, but I do think they're in a lot of situations we've been looking for Salah too much. And obviously, teams know how good Salah is, so there's 2 men out there watching him anyway. So I think we need to be wary that there's 2 men with Salah. There's going to be space elsewhere, and then let other people step up to the plate and get the goals.
Chris just said about Salah passing. He is a bit greedy sometimes, but I've got a feeling that Klopp's had a word of him, and he's his joker. I think he said basically, because you've got conversion rates, isn't it? I think he's saying you shoot 2 or 3 times, you're going to score, son. And I think he's been given that license because he's shooting a lot lately. Maybe. In the last 6 months, he's shooting times when you think, why didn't you pass it?
Okay, well, obviously after the Bournemouth game, we went back to the top of the table, 3 points clear. And today, at the time of recording, City have played and absolutely annihilated Chelsea 6-0. So it's back with Man City on top on goal difference. So I guess we'll wait until is it Sunday the 24th? I think it is.
2 more weeks.
Yeah, till we play Manchester United to see what happens next. Anyway, so our next game is going to be Munich away. It's a big game in Champions League.
Home.
Yeah, no Virgil van Dijk, as we said. And I just want to ask a question. Do you think we can take a lead to Germany?
I think we're going to win the Champions League, I'm not saying we're not going to win the league. I just think we're going to win the Champions League.
That is a big statement.
I just think when we're at our best, I can't say this now. When we're at our best, we could beat anyone. That's not even like saying like Tottenham Cam. No, when we're at our best, we could be one of the best. We are the best team in Europe, I could say. Do you know what I mean? We play at a level that I'm just so happy. I can't remember us being shit now. Do you know when you're young and you I can't remember being broke. Like, I get
the analogy.
Yeah. But seriously, I just think we're gonna win it. The crowds are
European nights are special. Yeah. I was at home. I was at my in-laws, and my sister-in-law's boyfriend was sitting next to me, and he's having a talk on the phone with his dad, and he was like, he's actually a Man United fan, and he was saying to his dad, "Yeah, Anfield, the atmosphere is probably the best in the Premier League." So I think like opposition fans know it, everyone knows it. I think you're right. Anfield on a European night, anything's possible.
I think if we're going to beat Bayern, we have to be very high tempo.
Yes.
Bayern struggle really badly against teams that press.
We played them a few years ago in the pre-season. First pre-season, but the press. That's when we was like proper heavy metal football. We was going at them, and we beat them 3-0. And I know it's pre-season, but I was just like, bro, they actually cannot handle.
They haven't changed. They haven't changed. They still. You watch them in Germany. It's one of the reasons they struggle certain periods this season. They don't do well against teams that rush them off the ball. They like to have time to sit and pick their passes. They do not like it. We haven't got the defenders because Virgil's not playing, so I don't even know.
We need Trent back.
It's going to be.
Trent's back. He played on Saturday,
sorry,
didn't he?
yeah.
Is the game in the next 3 days, or is it a week, like 10 days?
Yes,
10
a week,
days.
10
Same
days.
week
Our
as the
next
Man
10
United
days,
game.
Then we must
10
have the
days.
United game
that weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who we're going to play at centre back. Have we got?
Is the lack of games affected our momentum? Has it affected our momentum? Like having
Sam
so many
said that,
breaks.
didn't he?
I think it might have.
I think you know, we might think, oh yeah, we've got a 10-day break and stuff like that, but complacency can kind of fit, not complacency or like lack of rhythm and flow kind of thing. So I think if you're playing every 3 days, you're kind of more on it. I know we say, City's got loads of games and things like that, but I think like that could be a help. You know,
well, it's like Paul said, they get bored. I think they get bored. I genuinely think they just haven't. It's not like a 9 to 5. They've got nothing to occupy their minds other than football. And if
all that money and you've got nothing to occupy your time.
I think even that way, I think it gives them too much time to think about this, right? So that's why I hate. Before I did. Now I realise going away is stupid, man, because you ain't got your wife to talk to, kids to play with. What they've been doing is talking about the United game and the Bayern Munich game. It's too much pressure. And do you remember before the City game? I felt as nervous as before the Champions League game. It's getting too hyped up. We need to calm it, like collective juju. You know what I mean? Everyone just chill and not get too hyped up before these games. And I can see Sky already hyping up. Oh, this Man United game's gonna be.
Wait, hold on. Well, you know, I don't. Let's not go on to that. Let's just stick with the Bayern game. Let's stick with the Bayern game for now.
We're gonna win.
I think so.
Yeah? You think we're going to take a lead into that game?
1-0, 2-0.
I think 3-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
With no centre backs, I can't see they're going to score a goal. I don't even know who's going to play. It's going to be Matip.
It's got Matip and Lovren.
Matip and
Is he got a hamstring injury?
Well, it might be Fabinho might fall in
10
there.
days, isn't it?
Fabinho might fall in there. We're going to have to wait and see. It's a bit early to predict because obviously, you know, there's time for players to come back. But okay, you guys think we'll take a lead?
Yeah, they still got.
If Lovren's fit, if Lovren's fit, then yeah, I'd definitely. And we play 4-3-3 high tempo.
They still got Ribery and Robin. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what their stats are this season for goals, but you know, you're playing against Robertson and Trent. Yeah, they're not going to want to go that way.
Yeah, exactly, it's true. But okay, so the Champions League, Paul thinks we're going to win it. This might sound like a bit of a silly question, but is the Champions League more of a distraction for us or for Manchester City on this title running?
Man City.
Yeah.
Man City, because Pep, I think Pep judges himself and is judged by the Champions League.
Isn't that why they brought Pep in?
Exactly.
The holy grail for the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That the Champions League solidifies you as a big club. That's why Arsenal don't get no respect.
Shout out to the Gooners.
No, for real though. It's, for me, I don't like Chelsea as a football club, but they solidify themselves. They you know what I mean? I have to give them some respect. You go out and pick up one of the big ears at least once.
Get a star.
Yeah, you get a star. Exactly. Then you're
like the 5 on my leg.
I'm sure. Listen, you're on the map. You know, but for me, so City, I think they really want to win it. I think it makes them a big club, even though they're not.
Yeah, and we need them to be in it as long as possible. Hopefully, like for us, they get to the final and lose. That's perfect scenario for us, for them.
Yeah.
Because last year when it was flipped for us, we was putting out some dead teams. Like West Brom comes to mind when we was 2-0 up and then they come back, they should have won.
Yeah.
The team we put out that day was like we just prioritize the Champions League. So I think there's gonna be a team City put out in April sometime.
But hold on.
This is what I'm gonna say.
No, in terms of mentality, I think they not talent wise.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a team they put out they're just gonna get caught slipping. I.e. Newcastle game.
Yeah,
watch out for it.
I think that hopefully, I think we as fans, and we're sort of clinging on to the hope, I think, like Chelsea today, when I went, oh, they're going to score at least 2 goals, that City will be distracted. I don't think they will be. I don't think we'll be either. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing a lot of thinking about our rivals in City, and I was never a big fan of. I liked Pep before. In the last couple of years, I've hated him because I was thinking you're buying all these players, but lately I've started to respect him a bit more. And I was thinking, this guy, if he could have 100, he just wants perfection. Do you know what I mean? And otherwise he's not satisfied. And I reckon what he wants is 100% possession on the ball, but that can't happen.
Wow.
So that means he's never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
This guy will never be satisfied. Do you know what I mean? So they're going for everything. And yeah, do you know what I mean? So that should sharpen. What did you say? Steel
sharpens steel.
Yeah. So we need to win every game. We can't go out there thinking the collective juju, fans and the players and the manager that City are gonna stumble.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're might have to meet them in the Champions League final.
As a collective, I think it's been realised, and I think I said it before, but it's been realised that there's no favours. No. We've got to do this for ourselves. So as much as it would be nice for them to drop the ball because they're concentrating on something else, I think we have to just do our job, and then that's all we can do. And as long as we do our job, we'll be all right.
It's what I was saying to Paul earlier. I think this result, the Chelsea result, might actually help us.
Yeah, because we know City are not playing. City are not playing.
There's no playing no more.
Yeah.
Let's do this,
Yeah,
boys.
let's do
Everybody's
it.
accountable. Let's go and do it. No
You're
more
right,
playing.
Chris.
Don't rely on anybody. Let's go. And that's why my attitude towards the United game is like that. Is that, okay, we're going to do this. We're not going to ask for it. We're not going to beg for it. We're going to go out and take it.
Okay, well, everyone keeps leading me on to the United game, and I kind of, wanted to save it, but I'll ask the question now. Is the Manchester United game one of the most hotly anticipated games, because it's our game in hand as well, for in years, basically?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Premiership-wise.
Yeah. But I don't want to think like that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not asking what you're thinking. I'm asking you, is this probably the biggest
100%
United-Liverpool game
since when we was going for it last time, and we slapped them 3-0. We got to go.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, we got to go for it like that. We don't want to have that feeling like we did with City,
Exactly.
when we're just like, what could have been?
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? I agree with you, Chris. We just got to go for it.
And we had the cushion then, didn't we?
Yeah. I think we've got to go for it, and if it doesn't work out, at least we say we go for it. We went for it.
We are going to anyway. We can't drop points. Klopp never ever, unless it's an in-game tweak. He never sets up for a draw, does he?
Yeah, no, he's not. I don't think
Not
he's
a
that kind of.
draw, but there's times when he has the players switched on to heavy metal, and there's other times where he puts on the Bose flipping noise cancellation because
Shouts out to Bose, if you want to send us anything.
because the City game, he definitely started that game. Fabinho not starting that game was a travesty. But anyway, I think that for some reason I think we're going to win. I think their confidence we're good against confident teams.
You think their confidence is going to be their downfall?
Their defense is still not good.
Yeah.
I'm not like the Fulham game yesterday. The first 10 minutes,
Fulham were at it.
I saw some chance. I said
Fulham were
That's what I was
at
saying to Paul
it.
earlier. Same thing.
Fulham had chances, and if Fulham score one of those chances early on, I think it rattles them there. And I looked at the match of the day, and I looked and I said, you know what? If they play like that against us, it's curtains for them, because we will not miss those opportunities.
We just got to go at Trafford and just stick out our chest and say we're having it today.
Which we haven't done for a while, innit?
We haven't. Like last year when we lost 2-1, it's just like kind of performance.
It
And we were on
weird.
form. We were on form at that time. That was so disappointing.
And the funny thing is, if you look at United's performances during their run, watch some of them games. They could have been torn apart in a few of them games. I'm telling
But
you.
wait, let's not fall into that trap again. Again, collectively, as a group, as fans, as the, I don't fear them, but we have to respect them. Let's not talk about their defense.
But we respect every team that we play, from the top teams to the bottom teams. But at the end of the day, every team's got frailties.
Yeah,
even our own.
No, you have to analyse it.
When you're analysing the game, you're looking at
true.
frailties.
The thing is, I'm not trying to dismiss them and say they're not a threat. They've got quality players in that home. What I'm trying to say, in the last couple of weeks, they've gone from being nobodies to the big bad United. They're not. Don't get it twisted. They're not the United of old. They're in a good run of
They're
form.
still that team Mourinho had.
But they're susceptible. That's what I'm not trying to dismiss them at all. I don't want to get.
The reason I'm not even cautious, but I want to just keep everyone on it is because I've seen shit defenders turn into Goliaths, and there's Lovren and Klopp's relationship, and Phil Jones was having the shots from the edge of the box yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes football a lot of the time is mentality. Do you know what I mean? You've got something to play for, something to fight for. We when we were dominant in the 80s, we only beat United at home twice in 10 years. When they were dominant in the 90s, we won there 3 years in a row. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be spiteful bitches that day.
Scorned exes.
But I think that might work in our favour though.
Well,
I think they'll be so intent on stopping us that they'll forget to play their own
Let's
game.
just say if we play at our best, we win because we're a better team. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna. I can't look at the. Although that's Klopp's job to look at the frailties, and obviously, us armchair fans are analysing. But I'm just looking at it as like they're a danger at the moment. We have to be on it.
100%. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with anything you just said. I just think I've heard people talk about that game as though we can't go there and win, as though United have transformed into this completely different team. And all I'm saying is I've watched them, and I think they're in form and they're more confident, but they're not a million miles away from the team.
That's a fair comment.
Going forward, they've definitely transformed. Their confidence is on point. Like they can score goals from anywhere now. At the back though, it's still there. But the game against Burnley, for me, showed that it's still there. If you put it on them and you go for them, it's still there. The cracks.
What team do you want to see out then that day? What team do you want us to play?
The team we played yesterday.
Yeah.
Same with maybe Naby out for Henderson, but apart from that, the same team, same front three.
Chris, you still sticking for Keita that day?
I would like to see us try Kate, but I wouldn't be upset if Henderson came in. If Trent's fit enough, obviously he comes in because he offers us more going forward, and he's got recovery pace. But I'm not over. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, you haven't played Keita if he didn't turn up. I mean, I'd like to see him, but if I didn't, I'd accept that team as well because I think Henderson and Fabinho have looked good together.
You know what? I just don't want Klopp to surprise me or surprise us when we see the team sheet on WhatsApp and that. I don't want to see Milner.
Yeah, I was about to say if he does that,
I don't want to see Milner right now because they're all going to be fit. I don't want to see.
That's a good point.
I don't even want to see Milner, Fabinho, Ronaldo. I'd rather see Henderson, and I'd rather see him play 8. I think he could be a weapon in that position.
I don't think in a game of that magnitude Milner misses out. If I'm honest with you,
well, then
if I'm not honest with you, I don't think a game of that magnitude misses out. You got to remember he's vice captain. He's thought of quite highly in our ranks. If you're asking me what midfield I want to see the same midfield as Saturday. I want to see Keita in there because he's probably one of our most creative midfielders, and we need someone who can find a pass. So I think he needs to start. Do you know what I mean? And we talk about Klopp not playing for draws X, Y, and Z, and I think if you start in a midfield without Naby in it, you're not really going for their throats.
That's a good point, because actually, when we've played a few big away games lately with quite a basic midfield. Our front three don't get chances.
Exactly.
And that's those times as well when
you need to feed them.
This is when I was getting pissed off. Because we were playing that 4-2-3-1 and winning games. Yeah. Then we would switch to a 4-3-3 and play Milner, Ronaldo and Henderson. And not only change the dynamic there, pushing Salah out to the right when he wasn't firing on the right, and no supply.
Yeah, but ultimately, if you look at the games where their front three haven't fired, the supply has not been great. It's been Firmino that's had to drop deep to come and try and create something. And we don't need that against
United. The West Ham game, he's coming deep, and losing the ball in silly areas.
But at the end of the day, he's not a midfielder, is he? He's good with the ball. He can find a bit of a pass, but he's not a midfielder.
He was brilliant yesterday, wasn't he? Yeah. Back to his normal false number 9.
And where was he exactly? There you go. That's where he was most potent up front in the final third.
I think he's going to play Milner.
You know what? I've got a funny feeling too.
It just dawned on me that I think one of the biggest weaknesses of Man United's midfield is that I don't think it's the greatest. It's the hardest working midfield in the league. They're at the bottom of the charts in terms of distance covered. They're not very mobile, are they? They're not very mobile. And
Matic just turns like a truck.
Pogba can over elaborate sometimes.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. So I can see him putting workhorses in there that are going to run around.
But workhorses.
That'd be ridiculous. Why would he do that?
Yeah, but no, I understand what you're saying. Workhorses in to hurry them and press them on the ball.
Who was the three that we played? I don't know how you remember these guys. Who did we play in the midfield when we played at home against them? The three.
It was the 4-2-3-1.
Fabinho.
It was Fabinho and
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, because
And-
Fabinho had a good game.
And then Mane started on the right and Keita started on the left.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Keita came off Shaqiri.
Yeah.
And then
Because
he
their
scored.
midfield, Herrera and Matic, couldn't handle. It was so quick for them.
Yeah.
And Matic, to be fair, is like a double deck on a mini roundabout. He really he can't. he
Yeah,
just
you
can't-
topped it. You topped my truck, Colin. I'll
He
give you
can't
that
move.
one.
He's a steady. And I've got a lot of Man. I'm in a WhatsApp group with Man United fans, and they're forever cussing him. They're saying he's slow. He slows down the game. Everything. So I think we definitely got to play a fast midfield around them because these guys can't get around.
But a fast midfield can consist of Naby Keita. So
Yeah, so
you
fingers
know,
crossed, Klopp will remember what
Yeah.
beat him last time and not.
tinker
I-
too much.
yeah.
I think it's Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and one other.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Because
it's
of
going
the-
to be.
because of
Yeah.
the-
It
mobility.
should, yeah, it should
be Milner then, he won't
It should
be.
be, but like I said, I just don't see Milner missing out.
Yeah.
And I don't see.
It
nah,
can't be Milner.
it
I
won't
don't
be
see Milner missing
Milner,
out.
Henderson, and Wijnaldum is like unseasoned chicken.
Oh, Lord.
Boiling the bag.
Just put it in the bag. It's dead. Like we need some flavour on our midfield, man.
Some
So-
all-purpose.
all
or
purpose,
something,
some
yes.
paprika, everything.
Aromat. I've got my fingers crossed. Like we've been going, we're tormenting each other at the moment. You know what I mean? He won't play He won't play Milner. He'd rather play Henderson. Henderson's the captain.
Do you know what? Under Klopp, I just never say never. I just never say never. Like,
Henderson and Keita on the bench.
I just don't know. I'm just
Fabinho-
not going to rule it out.
He's just telling himself. He's already trying to convince
Fabinho
himself.
has to play for me.
Yeah,
Fabinho. He's the only one who passes it forward. Like he gets it back straight in.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, it was straight into Salah's feet, and the weight of pass is
His range of
sharp.
pass is
Perfect.
excellent.
He's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's perfect. You
He
did
is
touch on that a
brilliant.
little bit earlier, Paul. I think I cut
He's
you
up
off,
there
but
now.
his
Kante and
yeah,
Fernandinho.
yeah, his ability to put in a tackle
Yeah.
and then play that forward pass is just
He hit one tackle yesterday. I was like, yes. That he proper went through old school. I ain't seen Naby do that yet. That's what I'm waiting
yeah,
for.
that's what you're
This
waiting
is
for.
another thing for Naby. We're not Naby,
Yeah.
brother. We're not cussing you out. We love you. You're gonna be like the boss, but he won't play a pass further than 20 fucking yards. Have you not noticed? He won't switch it 30 yards, 40 yards.
Maybe he ain't got the power in his legs.
Come on.
No, he can't.
He's got the
He's
power.
got the power.
Yeah, so this is.
You're the yams.
Yeah, no, come on, Keita, come on, man. Like you that way. Although he's like inventive, he's limiting his chances of affecting the game if he's not going to switch. Look at Fabinho and Van Dijk. They're both doing this cut across ball from middle to left,
yeah,
middle to right.
Yeah,
It's perfect. It works. It doesn't matter if it's Trent or Milner. Even Milner's
Yeah.
utilised that pass.
yeah.
Keita's got to get involved, man. He's got to get involved.
Anyway, I guess the general consensus for the United game is Naby should start, and whatever happens, we need to go for their throats and play like our lives dependent on us. And do you know what? It's going to be a bit funny to say it because, you know, we're coming towards the end of the season, but for me, it feels like if we go to Old Trafford and we win, that's a turning point for me.
I thought I didn't
Big
want to say it out
turning
loud,
point, yeah.
but I was thinking the same thing.
I've been thinking it for the last few days. I do believe we're going to win the league. Obviously, I'm going to say that I'm a Liverpool fan, but I think for me that is the real
Trigger point,
belief
crossroad,
kicks
yeah.
in.
The
Yeah,
And not even to be
yeah.
negative, but even a point. It's a game in hand, right?
It is a game in hand.
And we go
a
top.
point, yeah, a
We
point
have to
from
get
that.
something out of it.
A point from that is not overly bad.
Depending on how we play as well.
Yeah.
Like you're saying before we move on, like no one's going to do us any favors. So we have to match City's results from now on to the end of the season or
Yeah.
better. So no one's going to do us any favors. So we have to be on it and go for everything.
Okay, gents. Well, given the fact that we've had 2 draws and a win, the last thing I want to ask you is glass half full or glass half empty?
It's more than half full, mate. This has been best season in years. We're breaking records. Like by the end of the season, it's going to be the highest point surely for the top 3.
Yeah.
Like we're ripping teams, man. We're ripping teams.
All the time we go for the title, there's always another team with us. All the time. When other teams win it, they just run away.
just run away,
Why is
yeah.
it every year we go for the
You know,
title?
it's the thing is,
Unlucky.
if
Do you
if-
think?
Unlucky.
Sorry to cut you, Chris. Do you think that's because we make it harder for ourselves in the things that we do? Because just going what you're saying, we've had opportunities to go 7 points ahead, X, Y, and Z, and stretch it a little bit, and we haven't capitalised on those. Do you think every season we make it hard for ourselves when we're doing this?
I think previously it's kind of like hasn't been as much in our hands as it is this year. This year, I think we're making it hard for ourselves. the other couple of seasons we've kind of been chasing 1-2 points ahead. We haven't been like in sole charge like it is now. So I think this year it's kind of we're making it hard for ourselves.
I disagree.
You always have to be Mr. Controversial.
I disagree. The reason why I say that is that I think if you take out the fact that we haven't won it in so long, and you take that pressured situation out of it, we're doing remarkable things this season. We're up against a team that's run by a country. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the standards that have been set now. And in any other season, we're 10, 15 points ahead. We're just, I think we're a bit unlucky to have a good team, a solid team, our best team in ages, and then run into 105-point City.
Yeah.
That's madness. You have to remember, watching the game today, they had Sané and Silva and them guys on the bench. This ain't no joke.
If they get to European Cup final tomorrow, they could maybe leave Mahrez out the squad. He might not make it.
Well,
they might have their defender.
he's only had about like 9 minutes or something
He
all
cost
year.
67 million.
I think he was an unnecessary signing. They didn't need it.
They do it because
Yeah,
they
but
can.
we were kind of linked with him.
Yeah, they do it because they can.
This is like they're like, you know, they remind me of USA. Do you know, like sort of like arms race people?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Weapons.
Just buying the biggest shit, the biggest and baddest shit.
Yeah.
Just hoarding shit.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. But you know, teams don't get think that teams don't go up against them and look at their bench and think, fucking hell.
Yeah.
These guys are they're
The
fully
football they were
stocked.
playing in the second half today.
But you know what? Let me
Jesus.
switch it off City, man. Bun City. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, make me get.
But no,
all-
going back
all
to what we were
hood.
saying.
Going back to what we're saying.
I
Yeah.
think we're doing outstandingly well. I think it's like we're 12 or 15 points better off than we were last season. We're having an amazing season. The problem is that fans haven't realised that the standards for success
It's just getting
are
higher
different.
and higher. The
They're
bar,
different. It's
the
not
bar
just winning
keeps
trophies.
moving.
It's being competitive.
But go back to what JR said at the top. I think every time we are going for it, the bar is just moved and moved. Like you said, but 15 points better off than last season, and then in any other season, we would have been winning the title, guaranteed the title. It's just always being moved. But you know what? We are Liverpool. We will always rise to the occasion. We're doing it this season, and we're gonna fucking win the league.
Oh my God.
I get. Let's just end. I get both these guys' points. Do you know what I mean? We've made it hard for ourselves in the fact that we let Klein go. Do you know what I mean? I won't talk about the holiday, but the Klein thing's madness, right? That's one. And then I appreciate what Chris said is we're breaking records. Like this is like one of our best seasons in history.
You know when I smash out lines like we're gonna win the fucking league, you should just drop your kite there. you know like when I smash out those lines, that's the perfect ending there.
It's me,
and then you just bring
it's
it back to
me.
some shit we said already.
It's me.
Yo, Paul, you are the man. You are the man. But you know
Right
what,
back at
boys?
chicken.
Just before we go, because time is almost up, I'd just like to mention that soon, for our listeners, we're going to have a WhatsApp group that you can join and get involved on the debate, get involved on match days and talk about the things was happening on a match day. And, you know, if you say something noteworthy, you might find your comment or whatever you said in the podcast. So please, guys, yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, yeah, Anfield_South1, or even on Twitter @South Anfield, look out for the details of the WhatsApp group to come and join the WhatsApp group. You never know, you might find yourself featuring on the Anfield South podcast.
Trying to get a word in with Chris.
Yeah. Trying to.
Chris, you've been all right, you know. All this talk I've been hearing about Chris don't give man no chance on that, you know. Them man are when you were here down, they slewing you. You know?
That's just the standard banter you get in the WhatsApp
bro,
group. So
you
you
know
know
what,
what? Look out for the details of the WhatsApp group and join the banter. You can slew Chris as well. But boys, must wrap it up now. As always, I've been your host with the most, your boy Slim, and today we've had Chris with us.
Yes, sir.
Paul.
We're gonna win the league.
Clyde.
Hey, and big up JR once again,
thank
man.
you very much. Been very good, man.
Yeah,
very good.
excellent
And
show.
you know what? These guys are bad, you know. Things they said about you.
I know, man. It's jealousy. You know,
Until the next time, people, we've been the Anfield South podcast. Peace.
Peace.
Oh my word, that's unbelievable, it really is. I think they should should stick to playing football. Terrible. What do you think, Kenny?